Hey everybody, I really want to show you a cool way to sell your honey. It's in these beautiful Muth jars. I've typically sold my honey over the years in the standard plastic squeeze bottles, mostly 1 pound for many years and more recently 2 pound bottles, and I've done well. I've sold a lot of honey that way. But I also have sold a fair amount in these beautiful glass jars. They work really well for gifts. They also work well for like party favors or wedding gifts and so forth. But it's quite a process. I want to walk you through that process, kind of show you how I do it to kind of give it a classy edge. So the first thing you have to do, of course, is order the bottles. I like to order them from Better Bee. You have to make sure you order from a company where you can get the bottles and the corks. They're all different kinds of companies and places you can get it. So I go into Better Bee under the glass containers section, and I order 3 sizes, typically the 4 ounce, the 8 ounce, and the 16 ounce jars. This time I had quite the order. We got a lot of these jars in for this Christmas season. I had some pretty large sized orders, and I like to stay a little bit ahead. You see the jars here, we have a bunch of boxes stacked up, all 3 sizes. I also have the corks that came with them, and I have a 16-gallon Maxent bottling tank with a really fast gate. It works really well for me. If you see the honey in there, we had it pretty much filled up. You can see some of the wax particles on the side. That just happens as we fill up the bottles from the tank. The wax will stick to the sides. It's just wax particles. It's no problem. The honey is perfectly clean. One key to filling the bottles up properly is to make sure that there is a little bit of air between the cork and the top of the honey. We've had issues in the past if they were too full. With pressure changes and temperature changes, it tends to leak out of the top, and so you got to make sure you don't fill them too full. So we just fill them up nicely, put the cork in, and on to the next step. Once the bottles are full of honey, the next step is to dip the bottles in wax to create the beautiful wax seal. As I begin to dip in the wax, I like to shake the bottle a little bit to make sure the wax gets around the edge between the cork and the top of the bottle. Then I dip it down below the lowest ring and let it just sit there for a little while, make sure any bubbles come up to the surface. After I do that for a few seconds, I pull it out. I turn my wrist around so the wax will kind of fall down between the cork and the top of the bottle, and then I shake any excess wax off. Works really well. Look at all those beautiful bottles of honey with a nice wax seal. Once the wax seal is on there, the next step is to create and tie the tags onto the bottles. So we do all this from scratch. We cut the craft paper in segments of 2 inches by 3 inches, and then we put them in this punch that we have. It creates a really nice shape. After that, we kind of round the corners off with a little tool that we have, and then of course we need to stamp the tags. I had a custom stamp made at the Print Mint on Etsy. They did a great job with it. Really nice, clean design. I like it a lot. I think it looks really classy. Once the tags are punched and stamped, we apply it to the bottle. Now you got to kind of play with the length of the string to see what works best for you. We've figured out the right length. It just kind of varies depending on what you're trying to do and how many times you want to wrap the string around the top and so forth. So you got to figure that out on your own. The way we do it is we kind of fold the string back over itself about a third of the way, stick it through the front of the tag, and then stick the ends back through, and it creates a nice little look on the tag as we tie it to the bottle. Then we loop it around once and tie it in the back, and we cut the ends off about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. However long you want to do that is fine. And there we have it, the beautiful final product. And we had quite a big order this time. They look really nice, and I'm excited to get them out in the stores and see how they do. People love these beautiful Muth bottles during the holidays and as gifts. They work really well. They are super classy. And just thought I'd share this with you. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it'll give you some ideas to help you in your operation. And if you'd like to see how I sell a lot of my honey with a self-serve honey box outside my house, you can watch that video right here. Y'all take care, be safe, and we'll catch you on the next one.